The Radio Wammo Breakfast.
Kiwi.
And joining me now in the Kiwi studio is Amanda and Jeff from Music Hype. Hello to you both.
Hello, sorry, it's Annabel.
Did I say Amanda?
Yeah.
Oh, sorry.
Sorry, Glenn.
But my name was correct.
This whole multitasking thing has totally undone me this morning.
You're doing about 25
Annabel, I do
things.
apologise.
That's all right.
And Jeff, I got you right. Jeff with a G?
Yeah.
Jeff with a G or a J?
A J.
J. Good on you. Right, okay, now good to have you both in. Music Hype, it's a new website being set up to, I guess, promote bands. Currently, the Mint Chicks are the local band that you guys have got on there. Now, is this a New Zealand project or is it an international project? Is it an American project? What is it?
It's, we're funded by an investment group in Wellington. That's where we're based. So we're definitely a New Zealand project. But, we wanted to start here in our backyard. I'm obviously Canadian. I don't sound Kiwi at all, do I? But we've been here for 10 years, and this was a chance for us to say, hey, there's so much cool stuff happening in the music scene here. There's different ways of doing things. So let's start with, in a culture where people are really open to trying new things. Let's give it a try here in New Zealand and see what we can do.
Is this also born out of the disappointment that some bands are probably having with the old music business, that is big record labels?
Yeah, I think, it's born out of that disappointment and the fans' disappointment as well. I come at it from the fan perspective, not really knowing how to play any instruments whatsoever, but sort of, especially moving here, let's say from North America, and sort of experiencing all that regional lockdown stuff that you kind of just don't even really realize is there in North America so much. And sort of thinking, why are all these artificial barriers in place on the internet when it's this whole massive medium that could be used to actually benefit music, rather than this kind of, it's being portrayed as killing music. So a large part of our philosophy is to show, this technology should actually be making it a better experience.
Yeah. Rather than complicating things, because that's a potential possibility, I suppose, as well.
Yeah, and that's a big part of what we're trying to do. I mean, our background in web development, we always think about ease of use and trying to make things fun.
Yeah.
And it's obviously beta right now, so we're just taking feedback and we're going to constantly change things, add things, find out what works and what doesn't. So that's what's great about working with the Web Fund guys, is they're willing to let us try all these new strategies.
Do you not risk, though, trying to recreate the wheel in some ways? Because you've already got these social media sites out there like MySpace. A lot of bands have found a fan base through MySpace. Now they're trying through other ones like Twitter and Facebook as well.
I think a big part of our goal with the site was not to recreate anything. So part of it, when you come to Music Hype, you can use your Twitter account to just log in, or your Facebook. So we didn't want to have people create another account. And I think for us, it's about centralizing a lot of those tools and bringing them all together. So if you create a Music Hype account, you create a track record. And what we'll be able to do is track all the ways that you appreciate music. So if you're tweeting about a band, you're saying, you're actively marketing that band on their behalf because you love them, in a sense. And so we're kind of trying to pull that all together on Music Hype so that people get a sense of music across all of those networks and sort of just bringing it together.
Yeah, I think we're sort of trying to carve out our music niche on each one of those social networks.
And you attracted the Mint Chicks to the website. Now, was that because they have a leaning anyway towards these newer technologies and adopting new ways of doing things in the music business?
Oh, definitely. They were a perfect fit for us for a beta band because, we had a meeting with them and Room was like, can we do this? And can we try this? And we're like, yep. He's like, great, let's do it. I think that's a key part of it, is that they were a band who were so open to trying new stuff that it made our jobs really, really easy.
So what are some examples of some new things that they are doing with Music Hype?
Well, the first thing initially was Ruben said, look, when we release our EP, we don't want to put it out on CD. He doesn't like them. He said, can we do a USB stick? And we're like, yeah, absolutely. And then Ruben's an amazing artist, so he did up the design for it, which is the cover for Bad Buzz. And then we got them produced, and they're amazing. If you've seen one, they're pretty neat. And it's a 1 gig stick that you get the EP on as well, so you can reuse it. And that was just our first sort of experimenting in other ways that people, fans want to reward bands.
Yeah.
They do. They want to give them money, and they want to say, hey, you're doing a really good job, but you don't necessarily want to pay $20 for just a CD. So I think this was, really, really trying to show that fans will spend money on something they see as really cool and valuable and that the band produced.
Do you think music fans expect some kind of value add these days?
Yeah. Oh, I think so. And I also think that you can like if you look at the CD, it's sort of taking everything that band is and putting it into this one element and expecting a fan to pay whatever amount of money, whereas we're sort of looking at saying, why not spread that across a lot of different things so that there's still revenue, there's still, a band can make a living, a fan can still express their appreciation, but they can do it in the way that they choose, which sort of hits home with them. So whether that's entering a competition and submitting a design, or buying the one song off the EP digitally because it's their favorite, or buying the whole USB stick, or buying a t-shirt. So they get to choose, and then we also want to show that on the track record to say, hey, thanks for doing that. So that's part of what we're always doing, as well as recognizing what the fans have done.
Yeah. So is Music Hype also I suppose the one-stop shop for distribution as well, or is that handled elsewhere, say for a vinyl release?
Yeah, I don't think it's so early for us, really, that we're learning this as we go along. But I don't see us necessarily as distribution. We work with partners who do that. But I would say that we're kind of that missing link in the sort of promotional digital space that some bands need. Because another thing Ruben said was, like, he said, I love talking to my fans, but I don't have time to be across all the networks. And we said, we can help you do that.
Right.
So that's where I really see our strength, is through the digital comms.
Let's talk about the Mitchicks gig at the Bacco Room the other week in Auckland City, which I was absolutely chuffed to make it along to at the last minute, straight after the Pixies, and I think a lot of people went to Pixies, but then found out that the highlight of the night was Mitchicks later on.
Rock and roll.
There's a bit of controversy though about this gig, because they played a blinder set, 15 minutes. It was just I was sort of just aside a stage, and there was 2 drums going at one point, and man, the energy in that room was just cut it with a knife. It was so amazing. Yeah. And then it all kind of fell apart. There seemed to be some kind of disagreement going on stage. A few instruments went flying. It was really rock and roll.
Totally.
I loved it. But then they walked off, and I was like, oh no, was it serious, or was it orchestrated?
Yeah.
Or are the band broken up? What's going on?
I wish we could say we were that smart, but we're not. Because it was actually kind of the opposite, where we saw that happen. We've been calling that whole week our initiation week, because for us, working in the web space, that was probably the first week we really hit the real reality of the on the ground kind of live show stuff. Yeah. So we learned a lot that week, but then that happened, and we were sort of, but then we heard all this great stuff from other people experienced in the industry like yourself. We thought that was a fantastic thing. So. Yeah.
Yeah,
we're just going to take everyone's word for it that it was a fantastic thing.
But there was a bit of worry, and now that the Mitchicks very much are in this online round, there was a lot of talk, around this about what's going to happen.
Yeah, so yesterday, Ruben and I have been chatting about this, because he's back in Portland to do writing and things like that, and so we basically came out with a press release just yesterday, or the day before, saying that the band's still together, they're just doing their writing. This had always been the plan, that they were going to take a break from touring and do some songwriting. So this is what they do every year around this time, is head back to Portland.
Right.
So they're still together, absolutely, and we're still running the t-shirt and the video competition on the website. So the guys are looking for a new Mitchicks t-shirt, the official one. And part of it is that, you have to pay $5 to enter into the competition. A lot of that money goes directly to the band. So like Jeff was saying, it's a way to support them. And then the person whose design gets picked, they actually get a cut of the sales. So we're not trying to say, give your design to the Mitchicks for free, and that's that. It's saying, contribute and collaborate with them, and you'll get rewarded for that.
It's kind of almost like the threadless model as well.
Yeah.
Where you submit t-shirt designs, and if it gets picked.
Yeah,
exactly.
I think that's, we try to look at what we like, and we definitely like the threadless stuff. So, to pull all those elements together to support specifically music is really what we want to do. Yeah. And also not go down that route of saying user-generated content, which basically means give us all your stuff for free and we'll put a bunch of advertising around it and get rich. It's to say, here's an opportunity for a fan to make some money.
Well, it's like investing, isn't it?
Yeah.
Investing in a band.
Totally. Yeah.
Being a shareholder.
Yeah. Oh, pretty much. And saying, if my design is picked and it does sell really, really well, I could get some, spoils out of it.
Well, Ruben always said it best. Like, I liked what he always said about the fans being their peers, and then the peers being their kind of like inspiration. So, that whole attitude of reaching down and pulling other people up and helping people out, that's kind of what we want to be, because it's part of the art scene, effectively. It's collaborative, and I think a lot of the music industry put up all these barriers that kind of try to put things in nice little sealed boxes, but it doesn't work that way.
Well, it sounds to me it is a fantastic project, and probably also a good thing that perhaps they are taking a little break to do their writing things and whatnot, because they probably need some time apart at the moment if that thing down at the back of the room is to be taken at face value. So that's a good thing. Great to have you both in, Annabel. And,
thank you.
And Jeff, my apologies. Come back again soon. I'd love to talk more Music Hype with you guys.
Okay, thanks, Glenn.
Awesome.
Of course, the website address there to go check out is musichype.com. That'll take you directly there. Time now is 12 minutes away from 10. Very shortly we'll be splashing